Guys, what's happening? I want to take a minute here to talk about teams today. I hope that's all right with you. Tune in, got some good stuff happening here. I look a little bit disheveled. What the heck is going on here, eh? Yeah, teams, like maybe you guys can relate to this, maybe you can't. Maybe you're a lot like I was, and I still struggle with this. I know certain people, it doesn't necessarily matter how far you get in business, how large you get. This is still a common struggle. It's still a common theme with other business owners and entrepreneurs, right? We get it in our heads. We're thinking, well, I'm just starting out, or I'm not where I want to be yet, or when I hit this milestone, then I'll get a team, or I don't know how. And usually it boils down to a lack of confidence, right? A lack of confidence in other people, a lack of confidence in yourself, not knowing how to train, not knowing how to prioritize, systematize, all of these different things. When talking about working with a team, it just kind of implodes, right? The world implodes on us and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. But let me have a conversation with you for a minute. See, I can relate to this wholeheartedly. I was there for a long time too, right? But what I've been realizing, what I've been understanding and seeing, is like I hit a certain point within business where it's like, it just got super freaking lonely doing it alone, right? Super lonely doing it alone. It's like you got nobody to relate to, you got nobody to talk to. And nobody to like kick the can around. I call it kick the can, right? Kick the can is my way of saying toss ideas back and forth. my little fun way. And that's important, right? In order to go, they say, I know that old saying, like go far, go alone, go fast, go alone, go far, go together type thing. I think that's a load of crap. I think you can go fast with the right team in place, and I've seen it happen before. It's just learning how to delegate, learning how to give up control, right? It's about being a leader. True leaders know how to delegate. They know how to ask for help. They know how to pass off control onto other people. And not only that, sometimes it's a learning experience for everybody, right? There is no right or wrong. Don't penalize your team if a mistake happens, if something goes wrong, sideways, south, whatever the case may be. They're learning just as much as you are. Nobody's perfect. We're all human. That's where everybody can that's where you got a chance to sit down with the team, get together and say, okay, what went wrong? Where did we go wrong? Why did we go wrong? How did we go wrong? And what's the where, what, why, how that we can do to fix it, to course correct. We learned, move on. We learned to move on. Extract the valuable lessons, extract the positivity, and keep moving forward, right? Everything in life is a risk. It's just that simple. Everything in life is a risk. You can make the same mistakes on your own. And here's the thing. Your team, ideally, should be more skilled than you, more competent in other areas. It's great to have like a basic understanding, but having people around you that are more competent and more skilled in other areas, it's easier to pass off control to somebody else. It's easier to let somebody else take the reins on certain things that you need done. You have more confidence, right? And that's why it's easier. But you also have somebody to toss ideas, like maybe based on their experience, like based on your vision for your business and their experience on what they've gone through. Maybe you can see a certain pitfall coming up that they can't. And together, when you guys put your heads together, you can course correct, right? Now, teams don't necessarily have to be an internal measure. Teams can be external, right? And I'm a big fan of that. And I've done videos on this before, like last year or stuff. I'm a big fan of outsourcing, right? I like having people in-house. I like keeping people close. But there's just certain things that I like to outsource and keep out of house. Whether that's a white label partnership or whatever that looks like, it doesn't matter. But like fulfillment on my marketing packages and stuff, that's done in-house. The financing that I just took on board for us, for our clients, that option, that's not in-house. That's independent. That's completely outsourced. I have a broker agreement with them, so I can set that up and work with them on that angle. But that's still an extension of my team, right? I'm still an extension of their team, and together we can build and grow far. The nice thing about having the nice thing about having an extension of your team, which is outsourced, is there's less politics, there's less decision making, right? You're hiring them to do a job for you. It's, hey, I want this to look like this. Show me what you got. And then it we're cooking away in the kitchen. Things are done, you're on your way. Right? Whereas when you have a team, there's a little bit, or like business partners, stuff like that, there's a little bit more politics, and there's like a chain of command, sort of, so to speak, that needs to be followed in order to accomplish stuff and make moves and make plays, right? Yes, internal teams, you're still paying them to do a job, but it's a different style of a relationship, right? And I find typically, in my experience, on both sides of the fence, because I've been an employee, I wasn't always an entrepreneur, self-employed. When things are internal, there's less leeway, right? There's less gray. It's black and white. It's you do it or you're gone. You do it or you don't. That's it. It's still like that when you're outsourcing to people, when you have external relationships, but I've always found there's been more communication with people because we're all in charge of our own shit. Now, a lot of that also depends on the infrastructure of the organization, of the company. You can have that environment, that team environment, that environment that fosters communication and collaboration internally, but that's something that needs to get set up right from the get-go. And it can be very hard to maintain that and keep that going, especially as you're getting bigger. With your team, though, you want to always encourage some sort of an open door policy, even if it's just a couple hours a week on a specific day at a specific time. But an open door policy to communicate, or even meetings, right? Weekly meetings, whether it's team meetings or whatever, to communicate problems, to communicate wins, successes, talk about challenges, obstacles, and just build that camaraderie, right? Maybe it's just the nature of my relationships with the people I work with externally that we have that. But I know it can be cultured and it can be fostered within any business. It's just up to you to implement that. It's up to you to devise the strategy. When it comes to hiring coaches, consultants, that kind of stuff, you often get a lot of that. And you can have people filling in the blanks for you, right? Like Albert Einstein said, the exact same frame of mind that created a problem is not adequate to create a solution. So often what that means is often we need to expand our capacity, expand who we are as a person in order to overcome the challenges and obstacles that we are facing within our businesses, within our lives, wherever those challenges and obstacles may be. We can read a book, we can listen to podcasts. There's any number of ways that we can do it, or we can hire someone. I'm a big fan of just hiring someone, right? I like hiring coaches and consultants and stuff like that. I like having a network of people that I can just call up and be like, hey, I'm at a wall. I'm at a standstill. What can I do to break? What can I do to break through? What can I do to shatter this, overcome this, and move on and keep building? Like, this is my vision. This is where I see me trying to get. This is where I want to be. This angle's not working. What other 50, 100,000 million angles, which one is going to help me get there? Or narrow it down to at least 2 or 3 so I can try a couple different options. But don't undervalue the importance and just how critical having a team is, and having the right team and those open door policies and those communications. You can still go very fast, very far, very fast with a team, as long as the right team is in place and you have that communication and you have those few key points set up and established. That's all I got for you today, guys. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this. As always, don't forget to share this with somebody who needs to hear it today. And I would love your feedback, so drop a comment below. Let me know your experiences. Have a wonderful day, and I am here if you need me. Cheers.